Okay, so the next video for the gray area was going to be a video to where I was going to talk about like what it is, like how it works, kind of other things. Not this. How's that? The next video for the gray area was not this. However, this is become a hot topic and a thing that's very prominent in my social media feeds. So I figured I'd put my 2 cents in because why the hell not? What I'm talking about is Destiny 2. There's been a lot of talk the past, like, literally 2 days. Jesus Christ, everybody. Man, the Destiny community knows how to blow stuff up. There's been talk the past 2 days of, like, the state of Destiny 2 and if there's enough to do, and it's all geared towards casual players and everything like that. So, I wanted to give my opinion, perspective, thoughts on the matter. So I'm just going to jump into it. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into it and preface that until I say so, what I'm going to be talking about is basically looked at in a state of a perfect world to where whatever you want can happen. Okay, there's no limitations as far as funding, as far as personnel or time or anything like that. It is just possible to do so. Okay, so with that, I really, really like the state that Destiny 2 is in right now. I really do. I like the season passes. I like how they're formatted. I don't like everything as far as the season goes. Like the content that we get in the season, I really, really like. So to back up just a little bit, I was not a fan of year one of Destiny 2. I was hit or miss on year 2 of D2, and now I like this. I actually really like this. And that might be because I am a quote-unquote casual player. Honestly, at this point in time, I don't even know what a casual player of Destiny is. Like, so I'll give you an example. Myself, I sit down and play Destiny probably almost every single day. I go in, I do my stuff, and then I go out. And I don't know what you want to constitute as a casual or a hardcore player or whatever. I don't know if you want to put the label of hardcore players raid on every character, every week, every raid. They just get everything done because they're hardcore players and they're going for that sweet, sweet roll on that weapon that they want. I don't give a shit. Whatever you want to put it as. I'm a casual player of Destiny. There. If you want to consider me a hardcore player because I play every day, because I play 2-3 hours every day, then sure, why not? Great. I played Destiny since D1, so like whatever you want to call me, I don't care. But what I do want to say is, like I said, I am a very big fan of what's going on right now. I am a real big fan of what is happening in general. Season of the Dawn, what's going on, how it's working. It is great. The fact that you can actually get like all of the things done for the title of the season is just absolutely astounding. It's wonderful. It's great. You don't have to grind for hours and hours and hours. Like the fact that you can just play for a little bit here and there, and if you just play a little bit like every week, you'll be able to get everything done. It's great. I mean, granted, sometimes there are those things to where you sit there and you look and like, oh, I have to do this week because this is happening this week. Sure, fine. But I like how it is. The ritual weapons, pinnacle weapons, whatever the hell you want to call them, they're easy to grind for. Granted, they're not as amazing as the old weapons used to be. I mean, we're not running around with a second recluse. Thank God. But still, the weapons are fine. Like, I'll give you a really, really good example. The Gambit shotgun for this season, Python, has the ability to roll with 1-2 punch. If you're not lucky enough to have a shotgun roll with 1-2 punch, especially a good one, then a more casual player than myself, I don't know what you want to call it, may never see 1-2 punch ever. Like, I'll give you an example. A new light player may not see 1-2 punch for a very long time. However, if they grind out Gambit and get Python, they'll have a shotgun that has 1-2 punch, which is useful in a lot of different ways. But going further than that, it's really nice that these weapons are easy to get, especially for new players. Granted, old heads are like, oh, this is too easy, and these weapons suck, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, but what do you want? Do you want them to give you a pinnacle weapon or a ritual weapon that has Outlaw and Rampage? I know that's what a lot of people want. I know, that's sure as hell what I want. But I'm not going to ask them for a pinnacle weapon for it. I'd rather them give weapons that have like a synergy to them of like, hey, these perks work really well, and you didn't think about it, but they honestly do work really well. All right, cool, fine. Give me those weapons. Great. If I want something that has Outlaw and Rampage, I will keep on playing whatever the hell the activity is and get whatever I want to drop. So here's my thing. Like I said, I love the way that this season more than last season, but how these seasons have been working so far. The grind isn't terrible. It's fairly manageable for people who don't want to play Destiny every single day, which I understand. I know people who play Destiny every single day can get everything done within a week or two. I understand that. On all 3 characters, you can get it done within a month. I get that. I understand that. To kind of satisfy the people who say that there's nothing to do in Destiny and that it's stale and that it caters towards the casual players, the fix for this would, in my opinion, would probably be something to the extent of next year. I'm not talking about sometime in one of these upcoming seasons. I'm talking about next year. Next year, do your season layout or whatever the hell you want to call it, the system that you have right now. Do this seasonal system. But over top, try and, like I said, working at a perfect world to where we don't have to worry about funding, personnel, or anything else. You have your expansion and have that expansion be the overarching theme, setting, whatever, for the entire year, and kind of have the seasons build on that. And whenever I say build on that, I mean, so we have, as of right now, we have Shadowkeep. And Shadowkeep, honestly, I can't tell you the last time I was on the moon for anything other than the Garden of Salvation raid. In like weeks, months maybe. The moon and everything on it was supposed to be a big thing, and now we are very much about this. It seems like it's more of a Vex thing right now, which, don't get me wrong, love the Vex. They're like my favorite enemy to fight. But it's like we were supposed to go to the moon, all this stuff is supposed to happen, and then of course the story went a certain way with Shadowkeep, and now we are dealing with the Vex. And don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with that, but the whole thing is I haven't been on the moon in I don't know how long. I haven't felt a need to go on the moon. The moon to me is like just another location now. If you were to actually have an overarching theme over the entire year that has to deal with the expansion and have the seasons, sure, you could have your seasonal stories and then maybe have the seasons and the expansion theme work in tandem with each other to where they help each other out, and eventually, like, towards the end of this year's cycle, you have them culminate in some big moment. That'd be cool. Love that. That'd be great. Even if it was like if it would culminate in one big moment, and granted, I know getting this to happen would probably be near impossible, but if you have them culminate in one big moment, literally the week before the next expansion drops, that would be awesome. because there would be this whole entire thing to where, I'll just say for an example, the overarching theme of the expansion would be the darkness is coming. Like, they are on their way, and granted, I know, we already know they're on their way, but like, it's a more prevalent threat. Think Mass Effect. So like, the darkness is coming, and then the theme is like, oh, the Hive are steadily getting stronger, and we just need to beat them down. Eventually, it comes into culmination to where the last task, quest, whatever they have us do a week before the next expansion, the darkness finally arrives, would be you seeing the darkness arrive. Then the following week, the expansion would drop where the darkness is here, and that starts our war with the darkness, and then there you go. Like, that'd be really awesome. If they fed hand in hand like that. Along with that, as far as stuff to do, because I know everybody needs stuff to do, make weapon quests similar to Last Word and Thorn. I know a lot of that type of stuff is busy work, as far as get X amount of kills, go to this place, do this activity X amount of times. Busy work, busy work, busy work. I get it. But if you're talking about longevity, that's longevity. Those are the quests that had you take, quote unquote, forever, compared to some of the other quests. Compared to like Devil's Ruin, to where it was 2 things that we had to do and we were done. I love Devil's Ruin. Devil's Ruin was a great quest, especially the mission. I have more about that. I'll do a later video on all of that bullshit later. But the whole entire thing is like, if the hardcore players want more to do, then yeah, I say give them more to do, but over a longer period of time. Like, maybe give them put out an exotic weapon that is, let's just say for an example, the exotic weapon would have you do something every week, and it would have you do something new every week, and it would take a total of at least 6 weeks to complete it, at minimum. Because if you do more than that, then people are like, oh, this grind's taking forever. Or people who come in late and see like, this weapon takes 6 weeks to get, what the fuck? But like for the people who like grinding and working and are tired of there being quote unquote no content, just give them longer stuff. Apparently, Rhetoric's broadsword is very long Crucible quest that I didn't realize how long it was until I looked it up. Yeah, do something like that. Give them long ass quests like that. It'd be perfectly fine. People would chase it to the end of the day. So going back to the real world, to where not everything is possible. Here's the thing. Any single person, there's a realm of understanding that you need to have. You need to understand that Bungie is not only one studio, one developer, but also a limited amount of people and a limited amount of funding. You say you want all of this, you say you want all of that. The problem is, if they cater to one side or the other side feels like they're neglecting them. It's gonna happen no matter what. No matter what. And if they do this back and forth thing of like, oh, D2 year 1 was really for casuals. D2 year 2 was like really for the hardcore players. There was long quests. There was tough challenges. Oh man, year 3 seems like it's going to be casuals. If year 4 is for hardcore players, if they keep on doing this flop back and forth thing, I mean, granted, yeah, it's going to work. And I mean, yeah, but you're going to have always people bitch. People are going to bitch regardless. And here's something that here's something that I don't think a lot of people understand. So anybody sitting here, no matter what side you're on of this topic, this conversation or whatever, no matter what side you're on, whether you're fine with this seasonal system that they have, or if you like the hardcore grinding thing that they did last year, the stuff that the real hardcore players like, no matter what side you're on of this, you're gonna play the game anyway. Like, really? Are you not gonna play the game? Most people who play the game and who are upset about this stuff are going to play the game regardless. You can sit there, bitch, moan, groan, complain all you want, but you're going to play the game anyway. I know I am. I know I bitch about it sometimes. Then again, I bitch about every game, and think about it that way. You're going to play it regardless. All the hardcore players that are like, oh man, there's not a lot to do. They're still playing Destiny every day. They're still, look at it. They're still all playing. Everybody who bitches, like, you're still playing. So what? You say there's not a lot to do. You're still playing the game. Why? Because you like the game, because it's fun? Exactly. So if there's not a lot of new stuff to do, what do you want? Think about it. Seriously. You're talking a studio that that has nobody backing them up anymore. You're talking about a whole entire group of people who has to basically fend for themselves off of microtransactions. I don't assume I know the inner workings of Bungie. I do not. We're just going to say for right now that the main way that they're getting one of the main ways that they're getting funding is through microtransactions, because devs need paid. So, in that vein, they're still going to make Eververse items because it makes them money. Because you keep on buying them. Because I keep on buying them. Because everybody in the community keeps on buying them. There's a limited amount of people, there's a limited amount of funding, and there's a limited amount of time. You can't please everybody. And no matter what they create, no matter if it's for the hardcore players or the casual players, everybody is going to be playing anyway. I mean, yeah, I know there's going to be games coming out of like, oh yeah, I'm going to, take my time and do my things and everything and play different games. Like, I'm going to go play The Witcher. I'm going to go play Cyberpunk. Yeah, sure. But like, most likely if you're a Destiny player, I can't even say hardcore because the word's been thrown around so much. If you're somebody who plays Destiny on a regular basis and you go off to play another game, you're most likely going to come back regardless. Doesn't matter. It's how it is. It's how you are. It's how the community is. And then if you don't, so what? There's a whole lot of new people playing. The game's free. The game is free on Steam. So if you're like, oh, I'm not going to support this or whatever, dude, there is like 3 or 4 other people that will happily take your place. And they just have. For me personally, since I like how the way this works, there's one thing that I do like. I like playing other games. Yes, I play Destiny all the time, almost every single day, if not every day. But I like playing other games. And I hate that feeling in Destiny to where if there's ever a time where I take a day or two or maybe a week of not playing Destiny to go play something else, because I know whenever Cyberpunk comes out, I'm going to be playing the shit out of that. I hate feeling like after a little bit of time away from Destiny, I don't know what's going on. And granted, yeah, there are YouTubers and videos and everything out there that kind of explain that and kind of like, hey, listen, this is what's going on, this is what to do. But still, for the longest time, and I'm going to say it was more year 2 than anything, it felt as though if I took a day off of Destiny, I wouldn't know what's going on. And if I was to stream or do any sort of content creation or anything like that or talk with anybody, I was missing out because I wasn't there that day or those 2 days or those 3 days or that week. I like this current system because I like having Destiny as a hobby, not as a lifestyle. For people who have Destiny as a lifestyle, one, they're most likely either content creators that do nothing but play Destiny, or you just either don't have another game or something. Like, it's perfectly fine to have Destiny and play Destiny all the freaking time, but like, don't be one of those people that want to ruin the masses experience because of your hardcore nature. It's like the same people who got pissed off at Epic for changing a few things in Fortnite. And a few professional players go off the rails and like, you're messing with my livelihood. I said, what? You're fucking kidding me? What? You're going to play the game anyway. Chill out. You're going to learn it. You're going to play it. Chill. But I do want to touch on, there's one thing I definitely want to, I want to bring up and say, and so for somebody who plays Destiny all the time, and it's okay, so all right, I'm going to preface this. I mean no ill will. If anything, I come from a place of wanting to understand and understanding. So if there's anything I say of this that's not cool and kosher and nobody agrees with me with, that's fine. Just, I would rather talk it out than somebody just blow off their top and everything like that. So one of the things I think that sparked this was Glad made a tweet about how Destiny's now more for casual players and he doesn't like it or whatever. And one of the things I do believe that he brought up was the fact of like being able to one phase all of the final raid bosses and everything, and like wants more difficulty, and you shouldn't be able to do that. So for the general sense of if you have this thought in your head, and if you're like, yeah, you shouldn't be able to one phase raid bosses should be hard, raids should be difficult and everything, flawless clears on a raid should be amazing things that teams put together. First of all, they are. Anybody who flawlesses any raid shouldn't even remotely be looked down on whatsoever. That shit's tough. Because there's a lot of things that can go wrong no matter what. Whether it's with your team or the game, that's a feat in and of itself. That's why they're called triumphs. So, if you're one of those people that sit there and go, yeah, we shouldn't be able to one phase this. We shouldn't be able to do these sorts of things. We shouldn't be able to beat a boss in 0.3 seconds. We shouldn't be able to beat a final boss in 1 second or whatever. Here's what I have to say to you. Then stop looking for ways to do that. What happens is a raid comes out, an event comes out, something happens, and automatically, every single time, without skipping a beat, people try and look for the easiest way to clear it. Easiest meaning fastest, meaning what's the way that I can produce the most numbers, which is fine. That's fine. Like optimizing stuff. It's fine. That's part of the game. Don't sit there and complain to where bosses are too easy when you have to exploit the system in order to do the whatever clear. Because I'm sorry, but I'm not one of those people that want to go up to Riven and throw 5 flaming hammers down her fucking throat. Phrasing. I don't want to look for ways to do things that way. Like, sure, yeah, that's quick and easy and you get your loot at the end of the day, and I understand, but like the raids in general are supposed to be an activity, a thing, something you dedicate time to. And I get that finding out these exploits is an achievement and a triumph in and of itself, because, oh man, I found this really cool exploit and everything. I get that. I understand that. But the whole thing is like, don't sit there and bitch that stuff is too easy or stuff can be killed so ridiculously easy whenever you had to sit there and look and number crunch and everything to do that. That's not easy. Easy is me being able to take my brother who's only played Destiny 5 times, sitting him down and being like, okay, now I want you to kill Riven by yourself. He's not going to be able to do it. Easy is he could do it. No problem. You got to understand that you're taking the fun out of the game for yourself whenever you look for exploits like the whole Telesto to flaming hammer throw thing and kill Riven in 0.3 seconds. Like, you have to understand that you're doing that to yourself. And I get it. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it gets views. But at the end of the day, you're doing it to yourself. And I can't stress that enough. If you want to have fun, if you want a challenge, if you want something to do, go play it through all the raids with nothing but sidearms. Yeah, I know. It's been done. What's stopping you from doing it a second time? That's my point. Like, just think about it. And I know I'm ranting right now, and I know I'm like, I know I'm running out of it, but regardless, to go backwards, I like the current way that things are happening. If they had more content in Destiny that was like a long game overarching and maybe didn't have, if they had, these seasonal titles are perfectly fine, and they're actually able, they're actually I don't want to say easy, because you know that word gets thrown around. They're not at a high difficulty to where normal players can't do them. These new titles are nice because normal players who play every season, casual players, quote unquote, can get them. And for casual players, quote unquote, getting titles like Shadow or Enlightened or Riven's Bane or something like that may seem out of reach. These titles are easy. Like, whenever you see somebody with a title in a tower and you don't have one, you like immediately feel like the incapable one. Like, oh yeah, I don't have a title or whatever. Like, there's a certain presence to having a title that some people like don't understand. Like, if you look down on somebody for not having a title or for not having a certain title, then like you're a piece of shit. Don't do that. I like the way this works. If you want to put it this way, a title every season, because that would be easy. And then one title for the entire year that literally takes the entire year to do. You have to literally wait to the entire year to do, because just like the seasons, the exotic quests or what have you would come out over the year. That'd be perfectly fine. And if you want to extend these quests where they take longer, that's good too. I would have had no problem doing sidearm kills or whatever for Devil's Ruin. Now, then again, if you put me in the Crucible and tell me to get sidearm kills, then I'll be a little upset. But if you want me to kill bosses with sidearms, if you want me to go complete a dungeon with a sidearm, whatever, it would have been fine. But just like, I just think we need longer quests that arc over a lot of the year. And like I said, if we had an expansion theme that followed throughout the entire year, I think I'd be a lot better. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. I'm sure I have more. and I had a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm sure I have more and everything like that. And like usual, shit's uncut. I'm probably putting gameplay over this and then slapping this straight on YouTube or whatever because a lot of people wanted to see it. But yeah, that'll be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you guys want to talk about this more, if you guys want me to go in detail or in depth a little bit more or whatever, let me know in the comments or something. We could talk about it next time I stream, twitch.tv/Sentinel Gray. And we could either talk about it there or on Twitter or something like that. You could find me. You know where I'm at. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I will see you all next time. Bye now.